Hey, movie fans! Pretty excited to talk to you about a huge movie that came out a couple of months ago and is still making some waves. Avatar: The Way of Water. This movie is what I just said. It's huge, and it's huge really in three major ways. Huge in the box office, huge with its reception, and it's just a huge movie. I'll explain each one. But let's start off with the box office because wow, it is huge. Domestically, it has made $647 million in the box office. That is such a big number, such a big deal. It's crazy. Worldwide, $2.2 billion. 2.2 billion worldwide. And that number, wow, right now sitting at number 4, but probably by the time this video gets posted, it'll already be 3. It's knocking on the door to number 3, and probably will sink the unsinkable Titanic to take over that spot. It's just gonna happen. But crazy to think that 3 out of the 4 top movies of all time worldwide are James Cameron films. Like 3 out of the 4, the non-James Cameron being Avengers Endgame. But wow, this guy knows something about creating entertaining movies. Movies that people want to go see, movies that people can follow and enjoy, and movies that they want to tell other people about to get them to go see it. He's got a very, very, very honed in skill in that way. To do that, that's just astronomical. That's just crazy. Hard to believe. Now, I did hear Titanic might be getting a re-release, so maybe it'll have a little battle there for who's going to end up being number 3. But for now, I'm going to say Avatar: The Way of Water will take the number 3 spot. So amazing for James Cameron, but also a really cool feat is that Zoe Saldana is in 4 of the 6 $2 billion movies in existence. There's only been 6 movies to reach that level of $2 billion. And she's in 4 of them. The 2 Avatar movies, and then Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War, where she plays Gamora. So amazing to think of that for Zoe Saldana. So huge movie in the box office. Got it. This is also a huge movie in the way that it's been received. Pretty cool that on Rotten Tomatoes it's at a 76%. I know that's not like way huge, but that's a fresh rating. And for a sequel, and a sequel coming long later after the original, like that's not too shabby. 76% is pretty okay. But the audience has it at a 92%. You can see how that translates into its box office longevity. To keep making money as people keep saying, hey, you gotta go see this. This movie's cool. This movie's good. But besides those numbers, what really impressed me were the Oscar nominations. This movie, Oscar nominated 4 times over, most notably, most amazing, most impressive, Best Picture. Yeah, it got the Best Picture nomination. That is so crazy. Avatar: The Way of Water, nominated for Best Picture. Do I think it'll win it? No, not even kind of. But to get nominated for Best Picture, that alone is a win. That's a pretty cool win that it got that. So I'm excited about that. I think that's pretty awesome.
This family is our fortress.
As a movie, what makes it a huge movie? Well, its runtime definitely makes it a huge movie. It's 3 hours and 12 minutes long, which was really helpful for me to know before I went into it. I've talked to a couple people who didn't know that before they saw the movie, and it kind of made it a hard movie for them to watch because they're just like, what? But knowing it, I don't know, it kind of got me geared up and expecting for a long movie. But honestly, I didn't feel pacing-wise that it really ever struggled or dragged to where I was like, ugh, come on with this movie already. Like, no, like, I don't know. It was enjoyable for me all the way through. And we went to watch it. I just had such a good time with it. I thought it was really fun. So didn't struggle that way. Huge movie. Obviously, it's visuals. We know the Avatar movies are big on visual effects. That's a huge part of why the original was so successful, and really adding to the success of this one too. People wanted to see visually what it was going to be like. And wow, I thought stunning, beautiful, and yeah, it just immersive, it just gets you into it, and it just looks so good and so cool. Those visuals also received an Oscar nomination, Best Visual Effects. Could have won that one? Yeah, it's got a chance, I think. I don't know if I'd say for sure if it's going to or not, because I don't know how it all works, but I think it's got a pretty fair shot to win Best Visual Effects just based on how impressive the visuals were. What else makes this a huge movie? I would say just the epicness and the storytelling of it. It really is epic, and it just tells a great story. Kind of like I mentioned in the box office section, James Cameron knows how to tell a story that everyone can follow. They can go along with it. It's simple, and you can just, I don't know, get into it. And it develops characters well that you want to know what's going to happen with them. Jake Sully in this one now has a family. That family aspect made this movie way more cool for me. That changed it for me. It added so much depth to it, and probably a lot of why I was so into it this time around as a dad. So yeah, for me, I enjoyed it more than the first movie. The first movie was cool and I liked it, but I think this one had a better story. And yeah, some of the things with the villain story, I don't want to spoil anything, but maybe not my favorite. Kind of okay, eat some popcorn. But moving past that, I think there were some cool things, and it was a good story that I cared about and I want to know more about. I'm okay with there being another Avatar movie because of what this movie did and where the story went and who these characters are and their life. That was cool to me. So huge movie. I liked it. I thought it was great. What it's done is really just mind-blowing and amazing to think of a movie that way. I didn't predict that. I thought the first one did so well and was so huge just because it was so new. And in today's world, visual effects, we've got them all over the place. It wasn't revolutionary anymore. But man, it still brought people out and got people to the theaters, back to see it in the big screen and to experience those visuals that way, which, yeah, totally cool. I loved it. I thought it was great. So anyways, there's my thoughts. This huge movie, Avatar: The Way of Water. Thanks for checking it out, everybody. Stay safe out there. Don't text and drive. Have a good one.